Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm gonna dedicate this video to Reptile, like this guildie who just left my guild because he felt like he was kind of stuck. Like, I get it, you know, there's a certain limit where you kind of get hard stuck. Around 5,000 CP looks like it's the cap for now. There's nothing literally you can do to enhance anymore, and it's just really hard now to break that 5k barrier. But before that, I feel like there's actually quite a bit of things you can do. I feel like we can definitely get to like 4,500 easily and be in F2P as well. So like in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to grind it out in the long run and get CP in the most efficient manner possible. Alright, so if you check this your CP breakdown info, like most of it is pretty obvious, but you know, your knowledge and your lightstones, relic, accessories and all that, it's all very important. Like, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is suggest to you guys what to do in the long run. I believe like most of it goes back to your camp. So I believe there's an order of priority to do things. You gotta make sure that your camp is maxed first, and like by that I mean max level with max amount of lodges, and then you should make sure that you get this up as well. So this alchemy lab, so that means you can craft the supreme crystal chest, which is going to be awesome if you're lacking crystals. And then I recommend going for the outfits. So it took me like around 20 times to get gold equipment, both my weapon and my armor, but I can say it's definitely worth it. That's a huge CP boost. So if you haven't got the gold already, I suggest spending your resources here until you do. Yeah, so once you have those already, I would suggest you always also to craft like the armor blackstone. So worry about the armor one first because they're more in demand. Like you get to a point where you get your weapon to 35 and then you can't enhance it any longer. That's why I suggest you always to craft the good armor blackstone, this one. And I suggest you always to like go gather with your workers and sell the resources that you get once you pass that point, okay? So what I mean is, so you go world gathering and do any one of these. I do mining. It's up to you which one you want to go for. But do the 16-hour one because that's like quick and easy. You know, once you have a lot of stock, you can just go to market and sell it. Like, people buy them instantly. It's like, you know, you list it and it's already gone. So that's how quickly people buy it. So say for example, I can put 1,000, and like a typical call would probably be like around the 2,000 mark. So let's say you like, and that's like literally 4 million per gather. You know, that's quite a bit of silver right there. If you check how long it's gonna take, it's actually only taking the purple workers around 12 hours to do that, okay? So with gold workers, it should be like, you know, even less, could just be like 10 hours. And also with your workers that is gathering for these resources, I do recommend that they all be the same rarity. So you see how I'm doing this actually a bit wrong, because you know my rarity is all over the place. You ideally want them to be the same rarity, so like maybe purple for every one of them instead of like yellow and purple and green, because if you have purple for all of them, that means the time that they're going to spend to gather resources is going to be the same. So it's very important for the time to be the same, because as you see, like if you don't do that, then the time is going to be all over the place, right, to gather resources, and you don't know when to check back to your phone again to like finish up. It has to be like the latest one, which is like 12 hours for efficiency's sake, right? So highly recommend, yeah, that you don't do it like me and make it all the same rarity. But you can make sure that in your node, like every worker is, you know, whatever rarity you want. So these guys can all, like, I recommend you guys use gold workers for these ones, and they say you occupy with strength, and you use dexterity for. So it's a mix of strength and dexterity. Okay, but node is highly important because you want to focus on like things that will give you DP, like skill books, that'll increase your DP. So you see how I can get more DP like that, and it does take up resources, so you got to actually gather for them. And boss rush ticket, definitely really good here. So focus on things that'll give you DP in the long run. Like, it may not seem like much, but it'll slowly add up. Okay, and you get 8 black pearls there, so 7 black pearls. So I might as well delegate some workers there. So boss stamp tickets and tablets are very good as well. Obviously, you want to do the boss rush like to the best of your abilities. Try to get the hardest kind of difficulties done. So that's a lot of goodies there. And you also want to go ahead and do these ones as well. That's something else you can work on, like Uraka. He uses some very predictable moves, so you can easily dodge them and challenge like a really hard difficulty for him. Apart from that, like once you have the silvers from selling your resources, so you see how I just listed that in the market, it's going to sell out really quickly. And once it does sell, you can potentially buy things that will improve your DP. So for example, like these stones here, you can just go ahead and get these to increase your DP. Like, these stones are actually really good. The armor ones might be a bit expensive, but I'll show you what I mean. Like, you can just do that, and you can also buy the books as well. See, we have some books that'll increase our AP and DP. Alright, so that was a lot of money just for books, but you see how it's gonna start to add up. If I go in here and I click on all, so before I was at 58%, now I'm at nearly 70%. So yeah, that's you can slowly and surely you can increase your CP that way. Okay, so it's just a matter of being patient with this game and slowly getting your silvers, and also you can enhance. That was a 69 kind of stones, right? That's a sexy number, I know, but you see how quickly that percentage just went up. So if you don't want to risk it, play safe and do like a really high number, or 100%. You can do like a low number as well. Like, if you like to gamble, like 10%, 30%, it's completely fine as well. Like, if you're lucky, it's gonna turn out really great for you as well. With accessories, I'm using the purple ones, mostly purple ones. Like, I would say like the blue one is the lowest one that you go for. Like, so blue +8, and then you go for purple. And then you'll go for, if you can afford it, then you can go for the gold into the +2, +3 gold would be better than the purple +8, because like the gold +2 or +3, they give you the health on top of that, so it's really nice. But of course, these guys make it up by giving you like a percentage of branch damage, which isn't too shabby either. Now, if you have a look at my detailed info, all of these stats are just as important as CP. So you gotta really make sure that like all of these stats are kind of as max as possible. And with your branch damage, you only need to work on 2. In most cases, you only need to focus on 2. Now you gotta look at your class and figure out which one is the most used branch. So for Ranger, it'll have to be Labra and Owl. So both of them are really great, and I would get them as max as possible. But because most of my skills rely on Labra, then I have it like max, alright? The Owl is not so much as used, so that's gonna come later. Movement speed is actually pretty huge, and crit chance as well. Attack speed is definitely like one of the better ones you can get. Crit damage is just as important as CP. Like, if you get a high crit damage and crit chance, then the character's going to be actually really godly and be able to dish out a lot of damage. Now, I got most of my crit damage from my light stones, and I got these light stones by combining and doing the boss rushes. So boss rushes give you a lot of light stones, and see, a lot of mine have really nice stats like crit damage, gives you elaborate damage, like branch damage is really good to have as well. But flat stats as well is the third best, I reckon. So definitely go for something like that. It's really solid. And also you want to enchant your gears with the best possible. Now mines are okay, but they're not the best, but you know, I'm living with that for now. But make sure to always check out your detailed info and see how your enchantments kind of work. Make sure like your values aren't over the cap, because if they go over the cap, it's going to be wasted, okay? Now I got lucky with my orange. I found 2 of mine, and 3 of mine I think I just bought from a store. Back then you can buy, back in the old days you can buy orange stuff. Alright, it's not the case anymore because people can combine them nowadays. So that's why it's all sold out. But even if it's yellow, it should be still potent as long as you can get it to like 32, then yeah, it's all good, I reckon. So obviously you want to do everything in a collection, and you want to do knowledge with the bosses as well. You know, it's a matter of like, you know, process, so it takes time. Like sure, you're gonna get hard stuck, that's bound to happen, but you just gotta have patience, I reckon, you know. Now with the area that you're farming, it's best to go for areas that you can 1 or 2 shot. That way you can kill like really quickly, and I think that way you're gonna get the most amount of money. So 2 shot is probably the best, 1 or 2. It's definitely pretty good. Now I used to think that, you know, Black Spirit mode is a shit because I got most of my oranges from Black Spirit mode, alright? I used to think that's a shit, but actually that's not the case. I'm completely wrong there. Like, if you just put it on sleep mode, it's so much better. So, and especially if you're in an area where there's a lot of violet that's going to spawn on top of you, that's actually so much better than Black Spirit mode. I recommend, like, if you can't do that on your mobile, I recommend using an emulator. Put it on your computer, get an emulator like BlueStacks, and then that way it's gonna just be on there and you can just check every now and then. So that kind of frees up your phone if you want to, you know, so that's just another way to do it. Also, like, if you're gonna spend money on anything in this game, one of the best things to spend your money on is relics. You can get increased field item drop rate, and that's pretty huge, and increased inventory weight. So that's all really good for grinding. So I really recommend you to, you know, spend your resources here if possible. And that's how I got my gold one as well. Yeah, also one last thing I forgot to mention is feeding your Black Spirit, okay? So obviously you can buy yellows and feed them and get residue that way, but nowadays the price has gone up quite a bit, so I reckon it's not worth it currently to do that unless you need the residue. So yeah, one last thing is actually the crystals. I didn't go over in too much detail. If you have a look at my crystals, most of them are attack. You should definitely go for attack, and this one is Ahib, so which is a bit wrong. I can do better to replace that with owl. So actually, like, I can even just destroy that one and replace it with my owl, because Ahib isn't really being used for me. But definitely you most likely want to go for attack on all of these, okay? Because the rest of the stats you can get from your armor, enchantments, okay? Alright guys, so that was it for the video. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, and hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out guys. Also, my girl Princess is recruiting members. We're mostly over 4k CP, and we take tier 2 nodes really easily, and we're going to be able to do siege wall, and I think we got a fair shot, to be honest. So if you'd like to join us and you're over 3.5k CP and you can attend node wars and siege wars, then let me know in the comments below, or just apply to Princess. Cheers guys.